Hey, beautiful family. I hope and pray that y'all having a wonderful, beautiful day thus far. Um, I just wanted to jump on here real quick. The enemy is doing everything he can to stop what is happening, with this channel, to hinder Bibles going out, to hinder um, helping those who need a Bible. Hinder in any way he possibly can. Even trying to um, hinder me stopping to help other people with spiritual warfare and things going on, and those who turn and ask for spiritual advice, etc. And he's going to be unsuccessful. He's going to be unsuccessful. This is the Almighty's channel. This is Yahweh's channel. It is not my channel. I'm just a messenger. Even with everything that I talk about with others, by trying to help them the best I can, all glory goes to God. All glory goes to God. And I'm definitely am feeling the effects from this spiritual warfare that's going on, feeling the effects of the enemy trying to stomp this out and to stop it, put a stopping to it. But the doors that the Almighty open, whatever doors they may be, nobody can shut whatsoever. And the doors that he shuts, nobody can open. And I praise him for that. I praise him. I thank him for that. But let me just give you a little tidbit of what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to go in a whole lot of detail with some of it, but I will say this. Last night while I was driving, in case y'all don't know, for my job, I do a lot of driving. I drive from one building to another. I clean buildings at night. Absolutely love my job. I'm very pleased with it. I'm very happy. It's definitely a blessing. But while I was on my way to the last building to be cleaned last night, I was probably roughly 20 feet, about 20 feet from T-boning another vehicle who was in the turn lane, coming the opposite direction, and illegally turned. They did not have the right of way, and I almost hit him. Of course, I laid on my horn. And basically what had happened was this. I was driving down the road. I noticed that I was in the far right hand lane. I noticed that the light was red. So way back, I started slowing down the vehicle and pressing on the brake a little bit as I worked my way up towards the light. Well, there was a car in the left-hand lane right next to me going the same direction as I was. Well, it was probably within a few seconds of me starting to slow down and press a little bit on the brake. The light had changed to green. So I went ahead and I picked up speed a little bit, get myself back up there. Speed limit, mind you, is 35 on this road. And I was driving 37, 38. So here I am just putting down the road, and the car that was in the left-hand lane, they started to go, then all of a sudden they stopped. Started slowing down and then stopped. And I'm like, what is going on? I mean, everything happened so fast. I'm like, what are they doing? And come to find out, this car coming the opposite direction had turned in front of him and myself. And I barely had enough time to react. All glory goes to him. He is the one that stopped the impact. He is the one that had protected everyone in that area, and all glory goes to him. And like I said, as soon as I saw him, of course, I was pressing on my gas and I slammed on my horn, and they ended up going, and funny, I started picking speed back up, and oh my goodness. Of course, my heart was racing. It was definitely, it was scary. It was, I'm not going to lie, because I don't want nobody getting hurt, especially because somebody doesn't want to pay attention to what they're doing. It all boils down to that. Either they're not paying attention or they just don't care. Those are the kind of drivers, some of the drivers we have around here. So, and I'm sure it's probably there in your neck of the woods too. But the drivers are just getting crazy. They're getting careless. They got to be numero uno. They got to hurry up and get to their destinations. And I've seen so many accidents and people pulled over, and it's just really gotten crazy. But that was the first thing that happened to me just in the past. It hasn't even been 24 hours. And then when I finally got to my final building, there was a note left letting me know about the supplies I had talked to them about, asked them to reorder and yada, yada, yada. And there was just some things at the bottom. I'm not going to go in detail, but whether it was actually nitpicking or not, I don't know. Maybe it's just something they noticed. I don't know, but and I am not saying this out of bragging about myself by no means. I take this from the people who have told me themselves, from my own boss, from the two bosses actually ahead of me, over me, and the businesses themselves, the customers, our customers themselves, have talked about how, they're very happy with me, very pleased with the work I do. I do a very, very good job. I just do a really good job. And that's why, why do I do such a good job? Number one, that's how I was raised. Number two, I take pride in my work. I don't look at it as I'm working for man. I look at it as I'm working for Yahweh. And that is how we are to work. And I think it makes it a little easier, although sometimes I tend to forget that. But, so this was just really, really, just kind of like out of the blue, especially when the boss of this company, I had personally spoke to him just a few months back, right before Thanksgiving, and they were extremely pleased with what I was doing. They did have one additional request. I was like, no problem. I take the blame for that. And that's kind of like, well, I won't get into that. Anyways, my point being, this was kind of like out of the blue because nothing ever really gets said to me. And the boss of this company really, really, really liked what I was doing. So it was a surprise to me, but the person who wrote the note is the person who's in charge of, overseeing what janitorial does, the cleaning company when they come in, which me come in, and when I go into the building and what kind of job I'm doing and stuff like that. Of course, she's over, several other things, but that's one of the things that she's over. She's over ordering anything that I need as far as what that company provides, so on and so forth. So this was just really kind of out of the blue. And I was just thinking, I'm like, Lord, first you saved me from a wreck, what would have damaged my car out. It would have totaled my car out. And I very well could have ended up in the hospital, and maybe others too. Who knows? So it seems like the enemy wants to try to really take me out, if not literally take me out. And I'm like, Lord, I want to be sure about this. I really want to be sure about this. Then I come across the note and I'm like, okay, this sounds really sus. It definitely sounds like I'm being attacked, but I don't like pinning every single thing on the enemy. I don't want to give him that much authority, that much power, that much credit. I don't want to do that. We've got to be careful with doing that, because some of the stuff we do it on our own. We're to blame. But I'm like, Lord, help me to understand this. And I'm just like been praying about it and stuff. And in the back of my mind, nothing I had said whatsoever. It did not leave my lips. I did not say it to anybody. But I was thinking and kind of talking to the Lord through my thoughts. And I'm like, well, if there's a third thing that happens, now I'm going to know it's an attack. I'm pretty confident it is, but it's going to be like 100 then. 100% then. So this morning, or I should say this afternoon, I had actually gotten a phone call from the company the cleaning company I work for. And one of my bosses, she was discussing something with me that another company, the company that is not picky really hardly at all, they just want the basics really, but I still try to go beyond even what they ask, but they're the least picky business. They ended up calling in with complaints. I use that term loosely, but they were claiming that I had only taken 20 minutes with a particular building, when that's not true. With this particular building, you have to spend at least an hour in that building. I get an hour and a half for that building, but at least an hour and a half. But I think he was just reading something wrong, because I got signed in and out and stuff. I think he just read something wrong on that. And then another thing was, discussing with the one of the machines that they have, and I couldn't mess with the machines because I'm tall enough to reach the main button, but I'm not quite tall enough to actually press the button down. Any of y'all out there who are short, you get what I'm saying. So I wasn't able to get into the little machine and refill it and all that stuff. That's a dryer going off. Sorry about that. So I wasn't able to do that. And I had actually discussed it with one of the employees at the building. And she was like, oh, no problem. I just told her, let him know. Please let him know. I'm too short. I can reach the button, but I can't press it down. Please let him know if it gets low that they will need to refill it, because I can't reach it if they don't mind. And she was like, oh, no problem, which my bad. I should have also called the company I work for, but I didn't. And that part was on me, and I took blame for that with the person I talked to. But all in all, that was number 3. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, without a shadow of a doubt, these are attacks. So that right there, that just proves to me that even more so, as if I didn't know it already, I'm on the right track. I'm doing what he wants me to do. And I need prayers. The channel needs prayers. So if you could just keep us in your prayers, I would much appreciate it. But I just wanted to jump on here and share this all with y'all. It's been getting crazy. The enemy is trying to take me out any way he can, whether it's financially. He would love to take my life out. But he's trying to hinder this ministry. He's trying to hinder me helping other people. So your prayers would definitely be appreciated. So I got to say, I just want to share this with y'all. So pray about everything, and thank you so much. And until next time, much love. God bless.